Yo, what's up everyone? It's been a while since I last did this, and with Outcome Memories having gone through a lot of changes since then, I decided to read everyone's hot takes once more. I've gotten way more submissions now, so I can't lie, I am definitely a little bit scared, and I am also expecting to see a million of hot takes due to this awful hedgehog that should get deleted. Anyways, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the notice on. I go live quite often and they're pretty fun, so yeah. Let's get to it. Well, I asked on both Discord and YouTube for some hot takes, and we're gonna start off with Discord. Let's see what platform got the worst takes. Alright, so our first take is, oh my god. Shadow takes skill. Shadow requires good aim to land his stuns and cancel charges at this dash boost. As you can see, literally no one agrees with this. Just look at the reactions. But let me tell you why this is not true. First of all, notice how the gun isn't even mentioned here. So, you may ask, what does that mean? It means it's one of those damn shadow mains. It's one of those shadows who start mag dumping the moment the match starts. I am looking at you, the shadows who do that. I do not like you at all. Like, I can agree with the gun actually taking some skill. You need to aim that ability. But the Chaos Snap? It's literally just looking everywhere like a maniac, spamming that damn E button, praying you get the stun on the EXE. Also, the dash boost? The dash boost doesn't even take that much skill to hit. To be honest, I respect a Silver who hits his suspension while I'm using charge midair more than I do a Shadow that uses dash boost to cancel a charge. Also, there is no mention of the ridiculously low cooldowns. Like, please, PR, nerf this guy into Oblivion the next update. Okay, not into Oblivion, but just give him longer cooldowns, man. I don't think that Shadow is deserving of a horrible nerf, but his counterplay being like, oh, you have to play Colossus or Fleetway is not fun. I'm a 2011 X main, and before you say, oh, you can just use Invis, oh, you can just use God's Trickery, one, let me tell you why this doesn't work. If I use Invis, I'm gonna be 5 seconds before I can get out of that Invis. And what can happen in those 5 seconds? Shadow is gonna regroup with his team, and he's gonna be in a 10-second cooldown of Chaos Snap. 10 seconds, trust me, that goes by super fast. God's Trickery? Absolutely not. The amount of times that this ability has sent me to the Eggman emoting on the other side of the map is, I can't even count it on fingers. It happens all the time. So no. I think that 2011X gets countered by Shadow heavily too. And maybe that's my hot take, but okay, let's just move on to the next one, because I could rant about Shadow for like a whole hour. So let's just go to the next one. Alright, next up we got Suzu Does Stuff, who says Tripwire is overhated. I never understood why the community hates Tripwire so much when she's the hardest killer to server wipe with. Yes, I like playing as Tripwire, also y'all glaze Fleetway too much. Alright, let's calm down on the Fleetway. He is deserving of the glaze. But, you know what, I actually agree with this. Tripwire is 100% overhated. I understand the statement that, oh, Tripwire is OP, oh, her mines. But at the same time, when you have a team who's just clearing the mines, like, it's not hard. If you have a team playing Minesweeper, then Tripwire is horrible. Also, you know who else makes Tripwire a misery to play? Oh, who would have guessed? Obviously, it's Shadow the Hedgehog. Why, do you ask? Does Tripwire have iframes? No. She does not have iframes. So what does Tripwire have to do? She has to eat every single chaos control. There is legitimately nothing she can do except like setting up a mine in front of her, but even so, that's not enough time. I think that Tripwire at the moment is honestly one of the weakest killers, and that's crazy, because when V2 came out, she was a demon. I'm not gonna lie, she was definitely a demon, but she's more fair now. I think she's more fair, and honestly, the hate she gets, I would understand if it's because she's boring to play against, but there are genuine people out here who still think she's OP, and that is just not true. Overall, this is a hot take because people do hate Tripwire, but yeah, I think Tripwire's fine. Anyways, next hot take. Next up, we got G-Baby, who says hot take. Amy LMS having no damage resistance is pretty valid. It's valid because Amy's cards can just give her damage resistance, but sometimes her cards give her none, or just make her take more damage. In my opinion, this is what makes her LMS interesting. Unfortunately, Amy LMSs are not interesting because she gets obliterated. So we can get that out of the way. Amy gets destroyed. She does have a better chance against 2011X, and it makes sense because the whole no damage resistance was made because of 2011X for the LMS. Because Amy had a super short LMS, almost like Blaze currently. I know her whole gameplay loop is RNG, but the LMS being fully RNG is even worse. You need to pray to get good cards. I mean, at least the recent buff they gave her that she gets a 13-second cooldown for the card reroll, at least that's nice. It's more manageable, but still. No damage resistance was fine for 2011X, but with the addition of Fleetway, Tripwire, and Colossus, oh, especially Colossus, it is not fair. She takes 55 damage from a Colossus M1. How is this fair? She gets destroyed. Like, she may as well have her own guild passive like Sonic. So no, I disagree with this hot take. She really needs damage resistance to even have a chance at surviving. So unfortunately, L hot take. But I can kinda see the idea of it being more interesting with the cards. The unfortunate part is that the cards give you more nerfs than buffs, because you're almost always going to be getting unlucky or bad pulls, and it's every 13 seconds. So yeah, I can kind of see the vision, but I can't agree. Alright, so that's enough of the Discord takes, so now we're actually going to move on to the YouTube ones. Starting off with user Zio, who says, my hot take is that pre-nerf Fleetway was more balanced than survivors were saying, and now he's just another pub stomper who's more inconsistent than Tripwire. Server wipes. Legit, all his abilities were balanced. Chaos Dash, Laser, Fateful Drain, Burst. Beside the flight being OP, Fleetway was balanced. He only needed slight M1 nerfs and flying, so he couldn't just fly and win. And honestly, I actually kind of agree here. Fleetway's biggest problem was his flight, 100%. He was just way too fast, and it needed some balancing. But I generally saw people who wanted him to get fully nerfed. I will say, Burst is probably the most annoying move ever, and I feel like this ability should only be able to be used while you're stunned. It should be a get off me tool, not a I'm gonna fly to the Knuckles charging this punch and burst in his face, and I'm totally not saying this because it hasn't happened to me so many times already. But yeah, he just needed some slight nerfs, because in my opinion, he got over nerfed. He's a pub stomper, but as soon as you put Fleetway in a competitive lobby, he usually never lasts the whole match. And for that reason is why we all know that 2011X is just the best EXE still. But yeah, I agree with this hot take. Fleetway just needed some super minor nerfs. Well, maybe not super minor, but he definitely needed some nerfs that didn't have to be as drastic as they were. Alright, next up, we got I Wish to Experience Yuri IRL, who says, I believe that 2011X's 5-second invis turn-off delay makes invis extremely nerfed, as if you use it as a dodge, congrats, you're basically stuck in invis. And oh my god, this is the hot take that I agree with the most. I hate that they gave him 5 seconds for you to exit invis. In those 5 seconds, you may as well just eat the stun. Because like, it's not worth it using to dodge. Because you're like, unless it's a Sonic and you're dodging the drop dash, then okay, it's fine. Because you can just follow him while he's on drop dash and you'll be off the 5-second CD. But like, let's say that it's like Shadow. Yeah, best example, Shadow. He uses Chaos Snap. You go invis, you're now stuck there for 5 seconds. Like, you dodge it, but you're now stuck in invis for 5 seconds. He's gonna run away to his team. Literally, like I said earlier on, he's gonna go to his team, and by then he's gonna be back on CD. So I despise that they give him the 5-second cooldown. If they wanted to nerf exiting Invis so fast, then you could have just given like 2.5 seconds. I think 3 would be pushing it, but if you want to do 3, then okay, fine, it's not as bad. But 5 whole seconds, that is a lot of time, and I never agreed with this nerf because it made keeping up with survivors like and dodging stunts just horrible. And I would do anything for this change to get reverted, man. I was so sad when they did this. Alright, for the final hot takes of the video, we have Tails491, who says, maybe I'm just actually stupid, but pre-nerf Colossus didn't really feel too broken. He was strong and charge into M1 was a kill confirmed. But he had a clear weakness of any semi-good teamwork, making any of his efforts useless. Charge can't do anything into a team that has Knuckles or Eggman since counters. Grab isn't gonna work since you'll just be stunned, and block only works for one attack. And funnily enough, I was one of the people who thought that Colossus was fine on release. I always thought that the issue of him being able to M1 and do his normal damage after a charge was way too broken. I liked the solution that they implemented where Colossus could M1 after the charge, but he would do reduced damage. I thought that was fine, and I think it's really stupid that they removed that. But I am a firm believer that Colossus is the weakest EXE right now, and on release, he wasn't as bad as everybody thought. Like, I get it, you guys are probably gonna flame me for that, and that's okay, I understand, because he was kind of broken in the right hands. But I feel like some survivors just had to adapt, because we weren't playing 0.1 anymore. We actually needed teamwork. And that's something that people in this game really need to learn, man. Y'all need to start learning to play as a team. Stop trying to solo the EXE. You're not him. Like, another problem that Colossus had was the speed boost after getting stunned. That was definitely an issue. I did not like that either. But yeah, apart from that, honestly, I think Colossus, same way as Fleetway, he only needed slight nerfs, man. He got over nerfed, and right now, he gets bullied. He gets absolutely bullied. At least in higher level lobbies he does. He is obviously the pub stomper. He destroys teams who have zero coordination. But literally, if you even have a slight bit of knowing what teamwork is, then Colossus is no longer a threat. Oh yeah, but his grab. Nobody likes Colossus's grab. Nobody likes it. It's annoying. Anyways, that's it for the video. Really appreciate you guys to stick to the end. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be doing another one of these once the final update comes out. But yeah, for now, that would be it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. See ya.